I am 30 videos into this journey to 100 videos here on YouTube. I don't really know if this is working or not, but I suppose it depends on what your definition of working is, right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Um, I started this journey because, well, actually, for a couple of different reasons. Um, I was very clear that I had done enough years of being on the back end of other people's businesses and not showing up for my own. And so, and I also knew that building a body of work works for me. Like when I post, not so much for the moment, but creating a body of work over time, that serves me because like up until recently when I'm booking like clients, they will come to me and they will tell me this post you made resonated with me. And in my head, I'm like, girl, you do realize you didn't check the date on that post, did you? That post is from 2 years ago. That post be old, but it still works for me, right? Like people still come to me and talk about my content and my content that is years ago old now. And so I know that I am capable and have in the past a few pieces of content that really work for me. And I am capable of building a body of work that works for me, but I have not done it up until now. And so I was very clear that we are going to be very consistent in our content game this year, and we're not going to allow other goals to sneak in and override that core goal because we know it works when we do it. Even if the posts don't get a ton of engagement in the moment, even if, like, for whatever reason, whatever the reason is, right? I have had before people just searching launch strategist, launch coach, etc. on Instagram, find me, read my content, book my stuff. And so I am not in any way disillusioned by lack of engagement on other platforms because I'm very clear that I have not ever gone viral. And if I do go viral, great, but it's not particularly. Actually, maybe that's not true. I've had a couple of posts that like popped off, especially in the 2020 times when everybody was at home and all the racial issue was happening. Um, and so I know that that doesn't necessarily bring me clients. And I know that when I put my effort into my content and create good pieces of content over time, they work for me. And so I wanted to do that over a sustained period of time. And I had started out wanting to do that on Instagram at the top of this year. I was going to think about doing, actually, I was deciding between Instagram and Threads. And I was like, okay, we need to figure out which one of these works this year because excuse me, because Instagram is what has traditionally worked for me, but I was hearing really good things about Threads. And then I saw multiple posts from Glow Atanmo. I've talked about her before on this channel. Amazing creator, coach, entrepreneur, been in the game for a heck long time, and brilliant at what she does, and brilliant at figuring out how, like, what is your specific angle that you bring to the table and really helping you to fine tune that um with your content and with your story online, right? And so I saw her talking about doing YouTube, daily videos on YouTube. And I bought her masterclass. I think it was when it came out. I think it was when it came out, which was last year, November? I don't remember. I don't quite remember when she launched it. In any case, I bought the masterclass. I liked the idea, but I didn't have the capacity to start in January. And so in my head, I was like, well, we're not going to do YouTube right now. But then I think I got into March and I was just like, well, Chelsea, you also know that video really works for you. You are very aware of this. Your personality comes across in a really powerful way on video, and the warmth and the way that you work and the way your brain thinks really comes across on video. And so, video might not be a bad idea for you. And if you want, you can always take snippets from your YouTube videos and repurpose them over to Instagram, especially when they relate directly to business stuff and the stages of buyer awareness that your people are at, etc., etc. Like you could just repurpose, which is what you were planning to do anyway with Instagram to email. So just repurpose YouTube to email and YouTube to Instagram. And so I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea, but it's kind of making sense. And so I committed to doing, at first I was like, well, we're going to do 30 videos and we're going to do 30 days straight. And then I said to myself, Chelsea, you're not going to do 30 days straight. Y'all, one good thing about my growth as an entrepreneur is that it has really allowed me to be very honest with what I know I will do and what I know I will not do. And when I'm honest with myself, it really serves me and it serves the business. I will not be showing up on a Sunday afternoon. Bro, I had planned to do it this past Sunday and I still didn't show up. I already know it ain't happening, okay? I already know it's not gonna happen. So I was like, all right, we're not doing daily videos, we're doing daily-ish videos. And we are gonna shoot for 30 days. And the more I thought it, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, I low-key kind of want to commit to 100 days, but 100 days feels too big. So I'm gonna say 30 videos. Or rather, I want to commit to 100 videos, but 100 videos feels like too much. And I was afraid of disappointing myself. And so I said, let me commit to 30 videos. And 100, when I get to 30, I'll commit to 100. Was the thought process. And somewhere between maybe video 7 and video 15, thereabout, I was like, no, actually, let's just do 100 videos. I started saying it over and over to myself. And I think because I started talking about the fact that I started thinking in terms of 100 videos, 100 videos, 100 videos, then the goal was no longer 30 videos. The goal was 100 videos, which works out because the level of, what I really love about that 100 video goal, the level of consistency that I have to cultivate, and choosing to show up even when I don't feel like it every time. And also in knowing when to give myself room to take breaks and come back to the work, because I will come back to the work, like trusting my commitment to the work and that I will come back to it even if I take a couple days away. Um, that is really powerful. And it is again this thing that I always talk about of building the evidence that leads to self-trust, building the evidence that you do what you say you will do, that you follow through on your word, that you keep your promises to yourself, and all of that leading to trust in self, trust in your capacity, and trust in your word that you will do the things you say you will do, which then enables you to build on a foundation from self-trust, not a foundation from fear of disappointment or from self-doubt or wondering if, etc., but like building that evidence to prove to yourself that you do it, right? I think that me completing 100 videos this year, and this is the 30th video in that series, me completing 100 videos this year is a really powerful testament of my ability and a really powerful addition to the body of evidence that I do the things that I say I will do. And a really great flex of my consistency muscle, and therefore a really powerful building of my self-trust. And I like that for me. I love that for me. Like, I'm cool with that. I'm very happy with that. And so I think the more I just said 100 videos, 100 videos, 100 videos, the goal became 100 videos. And that's what it is now. We stair-stepped our way into accepting this. We talked our way into it, basically. And that's good. That's fine. And quite honestly, y'all, this 30 videos so far, what is that? 33% of the way in. I don't reach nowhere, obviously. um, like we still have got 70% of the way to go, right? However, well, actually, what is that? It's not 70%. It's 66.666, whatever. Right. That percentage. In any case, what I'm saying is this journey of 30 videos, and actually, is this the 30th video or is this like the 31st or 32nd? It's somewhere around there. So, and this journey has been low-key a trip, y'all, because this 30 video journey has been up and down. Because remember, I told you I started it very clear that I don't really care about the metrics. Well, your girl got caught up. Your girl got caught up in the metrics, the views, the watch time. And then by like, okay, so here's what happened. Let me give you the roller coaster, right? Videos 1 to about maybe 5 was me getting back into the groove of being on video and remembering, oh yeah, Chelsea can talk on video. Like I can jump from point to point. I can keep my train of thought in my mind. I can chart a path. I can create a messaging arc. I know what I'm doing. And this is not my first foray into video. The reason I know I'm good on video is because I used to do Instagram lives all the time. And I used to do like way, way, way back when Periscope was still a thing, when live streaming became a thing for the business community. I was on Periscope. I was doing live streams. And so it's not that I don't have an ability to talk to camera and know what I'm saying and create an arc of a train of thought and communicate effectively and articulately. Like I know how to do this. And so the first 5 videos or so was me getting back into that muscle of like, oh yeah, dog, we know this. This is not new to us. We know what it's like to be on camera and form an argument and keep your train of thought and like throwing analogies and throwing stories as they come up. And like, we're an old hat at this. We know what we're doing, right? So that was the first 5 videos, kind of easing back into it and realizing, oh, this is territory that I'm very familiar with. And then the next, I think, 5 to 7 videos that takes us up to like 12, 14, video 12, video 14. I think I started to be like, okay, I don't know what I'm talking about here. So let me talk about what I'm really comfortable talking about, which is a lot of business stuff. And so I was trying to mine and find the stories associated with my business and connect those stories to business concepts and frameworks. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, super valid. Y'all can go back and watch those videos anytime you want. They're there for you. I talk about like a bunch of different results that my clients got, case studies, my frameworks that allowed for those results to happen, etc., etc. So great stuff. Good work. Lovely. Amazing. And then we get to around video 14, 15, 16, thereabouts. That's when I start to experiment a bit more. I start to talk about a bunch of random things. And it starts to get in some ways kind of easier because of that, because I don't have to think as much about what I'm coming up with. I literally just have to share my thought process. Share the things that I'm interested in, share the things that I'm watching, share the questions that are on my mind. Share the perspectives I'm thinking through, share the stories that are happening in my life. Like that's all that's really required. And so I start to talk about like a bunch of AI perspectives. I responded to a couple different videos that I had watched online, things like that. Like I start to really branch out to test and see, okay, what does the algorithm give me back if I put this content out? And I think it was about here that I got caught up in the metrics of it all, and it became less about being consistent and showing up and more about whether or not this was working. And working being defined as whether or not any of these videos were popping off to give me a direction in which to go to say, okay, the algorithm loves this, so I'll make more of it so that this can become another stream of income for me. And so when that was not happening, I started to get really the word is not disillusioned is a little bit of strong of a word. It's not disillusioned. I think I just started to get annoyed. I started to just get annoyed and tired of showing up every day. And not tired because I didn't have the energy, but tired because what was the point? Especially because since I was no longer speaking directly about business stuff, then excuse me, because I wasn't speaking directly about business things all the time, what that then meant was I wasn't necessarily building a body of work that I could share on Instagram about business. This was going to be very different from my usual Instagram content that I know creates bookings and clients. And so then it became, okay, so what am I doing this for? If I'm not building the body of work that I can repurpose for business, and if the personal stuff isn't creating another stream of income for me, then what is the point? this is a waste of my energy. And maybe not a waste of my energy. That's maybe too strong a word, but it was just not it was not giving what I wanted it to give, and my goal had shifted without me overtly realizing it. Like I moved the goalpost. I didn't really realize I moved the goalpost. All I was just feeling was dissatisfaction with the results, with my watch time and my views, etc. And so what I ended up doing was taking a bit of a break. Not intentionally, literally just because I didn't want to. I didn't want to come on and film. I didn't want to come on and film. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to have anything to do with YouTube for a good few days. And so I think I ended up taking around 5 days where I hadn't filmed anything. And then I don't remember. Actually, I think I was in the middle of doing something. And I was like, you know what? I think I can talk about this moment because I was in the middle of a wrestle with something that brought me back to October 2024, which I've talked about as that retreat that I went on and how it like reset so much of what I was doing in my life at the time. And I realized, oh, hang tight. I like talking about this. I like talking about um my process of coming to the fact that I was abandoning myself and I was betraying my dreams and what I am doing about that and how that's still in process. I quite enjoy that self-development stuff, that personal development piece. And I don't I enjoy sharing my journey about this because it helps me remember. And I think actually starting to talk about this made me want to come back and film videos for YouTube because the more I shared about where I was at that point, how my people pleasing had led me there, like how I had self-abandoned, etc., the more I talked about that is the more I realized, oh, 2025 was my year of homecoming. 2026 is my year to really build. And it really coalesced my vision for this year in a way that I hadn't done at the start of this year. And it really defined my direction with a clarity that was undeniable and extremely helpful for my whole life, basically. And really helpful for supporting me in where I give my yes in my business versus where I give my no. And so I actually really appreciated doing like the people pleasing self-abandonment. It was a small mini series of like 3 or 4 videos. Thoroughly enjoyed that because it kind of brought me back in a way that felt really good and gave me the energy to want to show up on YouTube because I was talking about something that I wanted to talk about, that I wanted to share about. And so that was really, really helpful for reorienting me. And that's not to say I'm not still kind of side-eyeing the views and the watch time. Because I'll be real, I am. That has not really changed. But I think what has changed is that through doing those videos, I kind of realized, oh, my people might be in a very similar position, because I have seen, especially over the last, I mean, since COVID, so many people talking about the fact that, like, people taking multiple sabbaticals, people shutting down businesses, people completely pivoting because they're realizing that the business they built does not support the dreams that they had. And they left the dreams behind and made the business the dream instead of making the business as a vehicle towards the dream. And I've seen so many stories of that at this point that I'm like, wait, I think I think my people might be experiencing something similar. And so by me telling the story and incorporating business things into it over on Instagram, so like repurposing a lot of the content that I've made here on YouTube over on Instagram, I'd be curious. My thought process was like, I'd be curious to test and see if I get to start some conversations over on Instagram based on me sharing my stories, and what I've shared here on YouTube, and repurposing that over there, because I think there might be some overlap between my experience and my ideal client's experience. And so it gave me a lot of permission to re-engage over on Instagram in a way that I haven't. I don't think ever engaged on Instagram. Like, I don't think I've told these stories in this way before, publicly, ever. And so being able to do that on Instagram will be really interesting. It'll be interesting to test. And I'm curious about that. And that, I think that curiosity gives me more reason to show up and do the thing. And be consistent, and not, even when I don't want to do it, not do it. Or not stop doing it. So I still show up. So yeah, I now feel a desire to want to be here and want to do this, even though I am like, the numbers ain't giving what I want them to give. That is very, very clear. Don't really know what to do about that yet, but I think it's just going to require some more experimentation and curiosity. And excuse me, the other thing that I think is really helpful for me, and this is 100% the thing that causes me to show up, regardless of what the numbers say, I do not ever, ever, ever want my lack of results to be associated with my lack of action. Like, I want to know and be able to say, I did my part, right? And so, as much as it depends on me, I am not going to let my own lack of motivation stop me from doing what I know I need to do, because the minute I decide not to do, not to take action, it's very likely that I am blocking my own blessing. And that is not the territory that I want to be in at all. I want it to be like the devil is out for me and some angel is fighting for me out here, and I have to be like praying and in spiritual warfare for like my blessing to break through to me, but it not be because I didn't act. Right? I want it to be that maybe the Lord is building something in me, and now is not the time for that result yet, but here are the other results, and here's what we're building. And it not be because I didn't act. So I want to check all my boxes, which means as much as I can, I need to show up every day, on the days that I say I'm going to show up. And so it can't just be, I don't feel like it, and so I don't show up. It can't just be that. And even the 5 days that I took off and didn't film, I was recovering from being sick, and I had actually filmed on the 2 worst days of my illness. And then I was like, you know what? I think I can take a break the next couple of days. So being sick, in addition to like the side eyeing of the metrics, really just led to, okay, I can take a little bit of a break here and regroup, and I can come back to it, because I know I'm gonna come back. I'm not going to just abandon this before I hit my goal. Unless, like, the only way that that's gonna happen is if something completely shifts and changes. And so I was like, all right, cool. Knowing that, I can take my break. And I think that that's how I want to treat breaks, is like, okay, I can take a break because of this, 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 this. and the reasoning makes sense, and I'm not just doing it because I don't want to. Because I don't want to is not a reason around here. We don't operate based on how we feel. We operate based on our commitments. And because we've committed to doing this thing, we are going to do it. Because a big part of the um the desire that I have to do this and the draw that I felt towards doing this, a big part of that is, or rather, I don't even know if it's necessarily a big part of the draw, or if it's so much more really a side product or like a side outcome of doing all of this is me building this muscle of proving to myself that I keep my word to myself. And what does that look like for 100 videos? And what version of myself will be after, will be in my reality as a result of doing these 100 videos and building this results back, this evidence that I keep my word in this way, right? I don't know. I won't know unless I do it. And so I'm not planning on walking away from this goal and from this commitment, which means that I then have to follow through regardless of how I feel. And the breaks that I take have to be intentional and not just because I don't want to show up. Because most of the time, y'all, I don't want to show up. It's not that I don't have the energy. It's not that I don't have an idea that I can talk about, because an idea usually comes to me. And if an idea does not come to me, I have access to a whole bank of ideas that I've stored in the past. So there's a bunch of things I can talk about, right? So that's not even the question. It's really thinking about the like, what if this is just another video that doesn't get views? And also it's, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to do this. It's not my natural tendency. Even though I do really well at it, even though I have a skill set of doing this, it's not my natural tendency to come on and hop on and just talk. Um, I'd rather be curled up in my bed reading a book. So, yeah, I think I'm curious enough and committed enough to what this version of me looks like after doing 100 videos that I'm going to keep going. And so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I have no idea how it will go, but we shall see how it goes. Um, because yeah, I want to say that regardless of what happens, I've done my part. I've checked my boxes, and the rest is up to Jesus and whatever he wants to do. Okay. However, the YouTube algorithm wants to be working, however the Lord wants to make this work, however, whoever he wants to put this video in front of, um, up to him. I just want to know that I have done what I said I would do. Check my boxes, done my part. Let's go. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm still side-eyeing the views. Which is why I said at the beginning of this, I don't know if this is working. So I'm just like, okay, I find this topic really interesting. And quite frankly, I actually want to have conversations about this topic. But if nobody finds me, then I can have no conversation. Then I'm just talking to myself. And that ain't no fun. I don't like that. I don't like that part. But again, that's not really the point. That's not really the point. So yeah, the goal is to show up. The goal is to keep showing up. I've got 60 plus more videos to go. I think I will do another update at or around video 60, and another one at or around video 90, and then another one at 100. And we'll see what I commit to after that, if I keep going or not. If I decide to now commit to, I don't know, 355 videos just because I can, we'll see. But yeah, I think that's where we're at. I think that's where we're at with this. If I don't know if any of y'all are on your own YouTube creator journey or any kind of creator journey, or if you are creating any kind of secondary stream of income or third stream of income, fourth, fifth, whatever that looks like for you. I'm curious to hear what your experience is like and how you navigate this thing of motivation, this thing of consistency, keeping your word to yourself, all that jazz. Like, what keeps you showing up when you don't want to show up. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts and your story. So feel free to drop that in the comments or DM me on Instagram. My Instagram link is in the description box below. If you want to know what it's like to work with me, the link to do so is also in the description box below, because I mentioned earlier, like things like buyer awareness and like my messaging on Instagram and all those things. This is what I do on a daily basis for my clients. And so if you want to know, if you have an offer and you want to know how you can work with me to launch that offer, improve the funnel for that offer, improve the messaging for that offer, scale the results of that offer in terms of sales and revenue, all of that is in the description box below. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I will see you in the next one. Take care.